it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be comparing a 2021 Ford F-150 XLT Sport to a 2021 Chevy 1500 RST to a 2021 Ram 1500 Bighorn Night Edition. But first and foremost, a huge shout out and thank you to the Dodge Ram here in Provo, the Ford Lincoln here in Provo, and then the Chevy here in Provo for giving me some time with all three trucks. Check out all of their inventories in the link below. Let's get straight into the video. Now let's go into the hoods of all three trucks, starting over here with the new Ford F-150. We have a twin turbo 3.5 liter V6 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 18 around town and then 23 on the highway, with power outputs being 400 horsepower and then 500 pound-feet of torque. Coming over here to the Chevy, we have a naturally aspirated 5.3 liter V8 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy 16 around town and then 22 on the highway, with power outputs being 355 horsepower and then 383 pound-feet of torque. And then finishing things off with the Ram, we have a naturally aspirated 5.7 liter Hemi V8 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 15 around town and then 21 on the highway, with power outputs being 395 horsepower and then 410 pound-feet of torque. So we've got the most power and torque over in the Ford and the best fuel economy. We have the second best fuel economy with the lowest power outputs, and then we have the second highest power outputs with the lowest fuel economy. Now let's go over the front ends of the trucks. Again, starting over here with the Ford F-150. You guys can see that we've got full LED lights here at the front. We've got Ford's new signature hood here at the top. And then coming back down to those lights, you've got the nice C-shaped LED light that comes down, and I love how the accent goes all the way through there. This one does have the sport package. You've got body painted bumper, and then you've got the darker gray for the grille, just to make everything look a whole lot sportier with the XLT. And then you do have the blacked out tow hooks there at the bottom of the truck. Coming over here to the Chevy 1500 RST, you guys can see that again, you've got Chevy's signature bulge there in the center of the hood. Full LED lights with the truck, with the LED accent lights, and then again, body painted bumper because this one is the RST. You've got the parking sensors all along the front with the fog lights. Again, blacked out tow hooks with the Chevy and the blacked out Chevy bow tie. And then coming over here to the Ram, this one is the Night Edition. So you've got the blacked out Ram logo there on the side, well, with the 1500 Hemi badge there on the side, and then you got full LED lights here, the fog lights down below with the parking sensors all along the front. No tow hooks on the Ram. Blacked out front grille that comes with the Night Edition. And so that's the Ram, that's the Chevy, and that's the Ford. Now let's go over the tire and wheel setup of the truck. So again, starting over here with the Ford F-150, we've got 18-inch wheels with 275mm tires on them. You guys can see the tires are a little bit more on the aggressive side, which is going to be pretty awesome for the off-roading and then also for all weather conditions. You've got the blacked out portion there on the center of the wheel with the silver inserts. I think it looks pretty cool. And then coming over here to the Chevy, we've got 20-inch wheels, again 275mm tires, and then again these are a little bit more on the aggressive side, so you're going to do great in the snow and then on the off-road as well. As for the design, it's super similar to the Ford actually. It's just dark gray with the silver inserts. So like, look at the wheel on the Chevy and then look at the wheel on the Ford. The Ford's obviously smaller, but it looks pretty similar with design. And then coming over here to the Ram, again 20-inch wheels, 275mm tires. Now the Ram definitely has tires that are a little bit more street oriented, and then just all black wheels as part of this Night Edition package with the Ram. Let's go over the rest of the stuff on the side of each of the trucks. Again, starting over here with the Ford F-150, you guys can see you've got the F-150 XLT venting there on the side of the truck. You've got the all black mirror with the side steps there on the side as well. You actually do get keyless entry with the Ford, which is pretty cool. And then you guys will notice it doesn't have fender flares, but you've got kind of like this molding here that makes it look like a fender flare, which is pretty cool. And then you've got the Sport 4x4 sticker there on the back. Coming over here to the whole Chevy segment, you guys can see that we've got the blacked out mirror here, Z71 badge, you got a little mud flap down below, no side steps or anything like that, and then you get keyless entry on the Chevy as well. And then heading over to the Ram, you guys can see blacked out Ram badge, and you've got the blacked out mirror, no keyless entry though on the Ram. And that's the Ram, that's the Chevy, and that's the Ford. Let's head to the back. go into the beds of all the trucks. Again, starting over here with the Ford F-150. You guys can see that this particular truck obviously has the little like measuring tables here on the bed, and then you do get a full power outlet back here with some LED lights, which is pretty nice. Bed liner's not standard, it is an option here on the F-150. If you guys are wanting payload on the F-150, is about 1,778 pounds, and then it does have Ford's cool little bed step thing. And then coming over here to the Chevy, you can see that you've got the plastic covering back here with the liner here for the rest of the bed. You've got the LED lights here in the back, and then you do get a full power outlet back here as well. And then if you guys are wanting payload on the Chevy, is about 1,800 pounds. And then coming over to the Ram, again, bed liner is not standard, no LED lights or anything like that, but the payload on the Ram is in the mid 1700s. So the Ford has the second highest payload, the Chevy has the highest payload, and the Ram, sorry, has the lowest payload capacity. Let's go over the rest of the rear of all the trucks. Again, starting over here with the F-150, you guys can see that you've got the body painted bumper that's part of the sport package with the truck. Parking sensors here along the back, and then you guys notice as I approach the truck, the lights turn on. That's a new little function. Got the exhaust tip just down below here. Towing capacity is about 9,700 pounds with this particular truck. And then coming over here to the Chevy, you've got like the blacked out Chevy logo there on the back. You've got all the rest of the badging, little squished exhaust tips, parking sensors along the back, and then you do have a little bumper step right here. Towing capacity on the Chevy is about 9,400 pounds with this particular package. And then finishing things off with the Ram, you guys can see you've got the full LED lights here on the Ram. The Chevy also has LED lights. The Ford does not have LED lights. Blacked out badging here for the rest of the Ram. You've got the circular exhaust tips. They all have like a different exhaust tip situation. Parking sensors along the back of the Ram. Body painted bumper that's part of this night edition package. Towing capacity with this truck, because it has the 392 gears, is just over 11,000 pounds. So highest towing capacity, this one's the lowest, and then the Ford is right in the middle. Here's the door panel on the back of the F-150. You guys can see that you've got the pretty interesting design here with the stitching all across. You got soft touch, we're actually going to rest your arm. I really like the dark gray trim just down below. And then right over here, apparently this is like a map of Detroit is what someone was putting in the comment section below, which I think is pretty neat. And then coming over here to the rest of the seat, you guys can see you've got soft touch over the seat. You've got the cloth seats here in the F-150 XLT. Pretty soft to the touch. You guys can see you've got storage space underneath the seats. And let's actually pop in. So stepping in the side steps do make life a whole lot easier if you're running them 5'11", and you guys can see my legroom as well. Got the cup holders here with the trim just below them, and then you guys can see you've got a little 12 volt, and then you've got a full power outlet just down below in that little area. But other than that, this is the Ford. Let's head to the Chevy. Go over the door panel here with the Chevy. So again, you've got all the soft touch here with the stitching all across with the wood trim just down below. And then you guys can see you've got a little tubular door handle right here. And then with the Chevy, you've got the soft touch seats here. You do have the storage just behind the seat itself, and then some under seat storage as well. And let's actually pop into the Chevy. So it doesn't have side steps, so it's a little bit harder to get in. If you guys are wondering, still 5'11", and you can see my legroom right there. You got some cup holders right here. You've got a little charging station, no power outlet here in the back of the Chevy. And then you can pull this down to be some more cup holders as well. But that's everything for the Chevy. Let's head to the Ram. Here's the door panel on the back of the Ram. So you've got the soft touch here with the cloth trim, and then you got the darker trim just up above. And then here are the seats in the back of the Ram. So really soft to the touch. These are definitely a little bit softer than the seats in the Ford or the Chevy. Even though the Chevy has obviously the vinyl seats, these are just a little bit softer to the touch. And then underneath this floor mat, you actually get some ice buckets here in the Ram, and then you've got some storage there under the seat as well. But again, let's actually pop in. So no side steps here, still 5'11". Legroom's really good. Got some more cup holders with the dark trim. Got the USBs, got the full power outlet here in the back of the Ram. And then pulling this down, got some more cup holders. And, well, now we're gonna head to the front of the Ford. Now here's the door panel on the front of the Ford. You guys can see soft touch here, and then you've got all of the nice trim and the stitching all along that little portion. And again, I guess another map of Detroit there on the side. All of your window controls with your mirror adjustments, your door lock and unlock, and then here are the front seats. So again, cloth trim. Really like the design on the seats themselves. Nice bolsters here on the side. Then you got your adjustments there on the side of the seat. pedal layout just down below, and then you've got your adjustments for the pedal. You've got your little parking brake right here, your light controls right in that little area. These are the lights on the sides of the mirrors, and then that is for the tailgate. Steering wheel is manually adjustable, and there's one more look before we pop in. Let's go over everything here in the F-150. So you've got the steering wheel with a soft touch all around the steering wheel, and then you've got the stitching there in the center. Controls for the center stack, and then you got your controls for the radio, phone controls as well. Cruise control over here on the other side with your volume controls and your voice command controls. Got the little stock for the turn signal and the windshield wipers right next to that little area, but that's the steering wheel. And then coming here into the center stack, you can see that there's a couple different menus you can basically scroll through with the new F-150. The biggest portion of this is obviously the fact that it's just kind of like this big digital readout, which just looks really cool, but you do have the analog gauges on either side, so you got kind of like a mix between modern tech and obviously the old stuff as well. And then this does have some drive modes. So you've got your normal mode, you've got your tow haul mode, you've got your eco, and then you've got your sport mode on the one side, and then over on the other side you got your slippery, you got your deep snow and sand, and then you've got your mud and ruts, and it comes with cool animations as well for all the drive modes, which I think is just a neat little feature. And then coming over here, you guys can see that you've got the controls for the auto stop start. You've got the little camera button as well. You've got your hazard lights, and then the stability control. And then here is the infotainment system. So first off, if you press the camera button, you can see that it pops up with the backup camera, but then also if we pop it into reverse, pops up with the backup camera. You can zoom in on the receiver hitch, and then you can see the little thing for the parking sensors. As for the rest of the infotainment system, response time on the infotainment system is pretty good. I mean, obviously there's some plastic blocking things, but you guys can see response time happens pretty much instantaneously. But again, I like that thing where you walk up to the truck and the lights turn on. I think that's a pretty cool feature in general. The screen's absolutely massive, really easy to use, just user-friendly in general. And then you've got the trailer backup system here with the Ford. Trailer brake controls just down below. And then you guys can see you've got your drive mode select here, and then your drive line select. So you twist it for your drive mode, you push it in for the locker, and then you've got your buttons for your two-wheel high, your four-wheel high, and then your four-wheel low. And then we've got our analog controls for the volume, and then the analog climate controls here. This does come with heated seats, which another nice little feature in dual zone climate. And then you can see in here you've got some extra storage. You could put your phone right there in that little area. And then this does come with the trick shifter. So got the shifter that folds down, and I've made enough comments about this shifter, so I'm not really gonna say anything else about it. But you guys can see, pretty easy to use. I love the actuation on it, and then you do have a manual shift function as well. Got some cup holders here in this little area, and then we do have the center console as well with the F-150. Decent amount of storage space. And then I like the trim on the outside. I like this dark gray trim as well. And then with the glove box situation, you guys can see it's a dual glove box. Decent amount of storage space, really easy to use. This glove box, sometimes it's like finicky with shutting, so just kind of take that into account. I love the trim on the outside of the glove box. I love the trim on the dash as well. You guys can see that dash trim just looks pretty cool in general. And then finishing things up top here, we actually do have a little sunglass holder that'll pop down with the F-150. And then you do get a power sliding window for the rear as well, and then all black headliner. Well, let's head to the Chevy. Now here's the door panel in the Chevy. You guys can see you've got soft touch all along here with all the stitching, and then the wood trim just down below with all of your window controls and your mirror adjustments as well, and then the tubular door handle. And then you got a speaker for the Bose sound system, and then here are the seats in the front of the Chevy. So again, all that soft touch here, bolsters are pretty soft. These seats definitely would be really easy to clean compared to the cloth in the other two trucks. And then you got your adjustments there on the side of the seat. Pedal layout just down below. You've got your parking brake right here, and then you have your light controls. You've got your fog lights, and then your cargo light. You've got your drive line selects. You've got your auto, your four-wheel high, your two-wheel high, and then your four-wheel low. You got the trailer tow mode to the one side, and then the drive modes to the other side. And there's one more look before we pop in. Now let's go over things here with the Chevy. So you guys can see, again, leather wrapped steering wheel. The leather on this is a little bit smoother than what's in the Ford. You got the darker stitching there on the center portion, blacked out Chevy bow tie. And then you got the controls for the center stack. You got your voice command, phone controls, heated steering wheel control button, which we'll turn that on because it's pretty cold. Got your cruise control right there, radio controls on the back. And then you do have a little stock for the windshield wipers and the turn signal. This does have a column shifter, so you can shift the gears yourself with that. But yeah, functions just like any other column shifter. And then here for the center screen, you've got those controls on the side. You guys remember on the steering wheel, which you can scroll through a couple different menus. Pretty similar in terms of the information it gives you, like what the Ford has, just not nearly as modern looking, not nearly as big for the screen. And then in terms of the drive modes, again, you've got the tow mode to the one side, and you got the drive modes to the other side. You have your normal, your sport, and the off-road. So again, a little bit less in terms of the drive modes compared to what the Ford has. Coming here to the center screen, you guys can see response time on this is really solid. I don't know what the heck happened there. But anyways, response time other than that is actually really solid with the screen. The camera system is great on the Chevy. You guys can see you've got the cargo camera with the zoom function, and then you can zoom in on your receiver hitch as well. Really good from a camera system perspective, and the trajectory lines are pretty nice as well. And then if you guys are wondering, it does come with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Analog controls are just down below with some shortcut buttons. This does also have dual zone climate, and then you've got the heated seats as well. Right now I've got it on the full heated seat. You can have it just on the back if you'd prefer. This is your hill descent control. That's for the power outlets. That's your stability control, hazard lights. This is the tailgate drop down or raise button. So this is the only truck out of the three that the tailgate not only drops down automatically, but it also raises automatically. Auto stop, start your parking sensors. Got the trailer brake controls, and then you guys can see you got a full 12 volt, and then you got a power outlet as well. Some extra storage space right here in this little area, and then we've got the center console for the Chevy, some USBs, all that kind of stuff. Soft touch here on the top. And then again, we've got a dual glove box, so nothing too crazy with that, with more soft touch on that. And then finishing things up with the Chevy, here up top again, we've got a power sliding window, and then universal garage door openers, and then the mirror does have a little dimmer thing. But let's head to the Ram. Now here's the door panel on the front of the Ram. So you've got the soft touch here with the cloth trim above, and you got the darker trim just right there in that area. All of your window controls here in this area, and then you've got your little mirror adjustment right there with the power folding mirror button here for the Ram. And then coming here to the seats, you guys can see again, full cloth seats. These are really soft to the touch. You've got your adjustments there on the side of the seat, and then you guys can see the pedal layout just down below. Got your power adjustable pedals, your parking brake, and then you got your light controls up here with the fog lights and the cargo light. Steering wheel, again, manually adjustable. There's one more look before we pop into the Ram. Now let's go over the interior with the Ram. So you've got soft touch around the whole steering wheel with the darker stitching, and then you guys can see you've got the cruise control right here with the gear limiter. You've got your voice commands and phone controls right here. You've got the controls for the center stack, radio controls on the back of the steering wheel, and then you see you've got the stock for the turn signal and the windshield wipers as well. Other than that, pretty simple here. And then coming into the center, it's like in between the Ford and the Chevy, right? The Chevy has the most analog setup. This is like not the most futuristic, but then it's also not the most analog. It's right in between the two trucks. Again, the center stack just gives you different bits of information on the truck, nothing too crazy. Now the one thing to mention, the Ram doesn't have different drive modes. And then coming here to the center infotainment system, first off, if we pop into reverse, this is the backup camera that comes up. And then you've got a little zoom function with the receiver hitch with the backup camera. Response time on the screen's really good. Heated seats and the heated steering wheel is also an option. And then this does come with the dual zone climate, which is pretty nice. But yeah, overall, really good infotainment system, really easy to use as well. And yes, it does come with navigation, which is pretty neat. Just down below the infotainment system, we've got the analog controls for the radio. We've got the analog controls for the heated seats and the heated steering wheel. Again, dual zone climate. Parking sensors right here in this little area. You've got your tow haul mode, your stability control, and then here is the gear selector against the dial shifter. So they've got like different shifters in each of them. The Ford has the column shift, or sorry, the console shifter. The Chevy has the column shifter, and then this has a dial shifter. You got your two-wheel drive here, you got your four-wheel auto, your four-wheel high, and then you got your four-wheel low with your true neutral there in the center with that little portion. And then we've got our center console here, which storage space is really solid, and you guys can see the measuring tables there. And then this does slide backwards and forwards. And then you got some extra storage space here and there as well with some USBs, full power outlet, and then this does have a dual glove box just like the other two trucks. So the setup with that is all the same. And then notice the materials there with the dash, and then finishing things up here with the top. Again, you do get a power sliding window, so nothing too crazy there. Light controls, universal garage door opener, and then again, black headliner. Now let's quickly go over pricing on all of the trucks. So the Ram stickers for about $53,000, the Chevy stickers for about $56,000, and the Ford stickers for about $55,000. So they're all pretty much in the same price realm. Now obviously let's kind of sum everything up with all of the trucks. So starting over here with the Ford, from an exterior styling perspective, I feel like it's a really good looking modern truck. I love the interior on the truck. Obviously the power's absolutely insane. The only complaint that some people might have is the fact that it's not a V8, but you can get a 5.0 V8 if you don't want to have this twin turbo V6 with the truck. Towing capacity and payload are competitive. Coming over to the Chevy, I think exterior styling on this RST package is also really good. The towing and the payload capacity, again, those are competitive. I love the fact that it's got the vinyl seats because those are going to be a lot easier to clean. Technology wise, it comes with some pretty cool stuff as well. And then coming over here to the Ram, this one definitely in the night package, just it really does it for me. I love just like how it looks in general. It just has this cool, like aggressive kind of like sporty truck look to it. The interior is really nice on the truck as well. The towing capacity is solid. Obviously the payload's a little bit less than the other two trucks, but they're all pretty much in the same area with each other. And so obviously there's benefits and there's downsides to every single truck. Instead of picking a winner, I'm gonna let you guys pick a winner for today's video. So what we're gonna do is this video is gonna be posted, and then probably a day later we're gonna have the driving impressions posted to compare all the trucks from a driving perspective. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put a poll on the channel so you guys can all go vote for which truck you would end up getting, and that'll determine who wins today's comparison. But again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry H. Miller Ford Lincoln here in Provo for providing us with the F-150, the Chevy here in Provo for providing us with the Chevy 1500 RST, and then the Dodge Ram here in Provo for giving us some time with this Ram 1500 Night Edition. Again, the Chevy dealership's right here, the Ram dealership is right there, and the Ford dealership's right there. They're all next to each other, so these comparisons are really easy to do. So if you guys are comparing all the brands, then you should come to this area so you can do what I'm doing.